we meet again. Cathar Love number 75. Religion versus Gnosticism. It's as though it's a prize fight. Winner take all. Not quite like that. But there are some very basic differences. Certainly Gnosticism, modern day Catharism is a philosophy of the individual. When I say a philosophy of the individual, it's a process, a journey, a destination, heading towards a ultimate destination, but the journey is as important as the destination, because along that journey we're looking for peace of mind, tranquility of soul, and to the Gnostic, this comes through knowledge. And so whether knowledge comes from here, from there, it doesn't matter, as long as you're acquiring that knowledge, and that knowledge is advancing you along your path towards self-realization, enlightenment, and that knowledge, that gnosis, that inner gnosis. And all this is, what's it all about? It's all about, from the Gnostic point of view, of you, me, getting our personal connection with the divine. Now, that personal connection with the divine can be many things, but in most occasions it tends to be with our guide, and we tend to gain transcendence. And if you're a Gnostic or Cathar and you take that path, it's a transcendental path, because there are things that are going to happen along the way which are transcendental, means they're above the normal, they're paranormal, metaphysical. So, and these are just signposting you that you are on the right path for yourself. Religion, on the other hand, and I'm not denigrating religion, most of the world belongs to religion, and they couldn't care less what I think about them anyway. But religion obviously are a set of beliefs. Most have a holy book, and most of those beliefs are a dogma. They're cemented. This is what you do, and you can study those beliefs, be it the Catechism, or the Bible, or the Torah, or the Quran, or whatever it happens to be. But in this situation, I need to present you with a story, and so we have this alien, and he's arrived, and he's a wise old alien, but he loves stories, and he wants to know what's really going on, and he's interested in this religion versus Gnosticism. And so anyhow, he requests that a scholar from each of the major religions join with him for a discussion, and a group of people, and as to, firstly, which is the one true religion. So a gentleman, a scholar in the Islamic studies, an imam, a mufti, a sheikh, stood up, and he said, we have the one true religion. We've had this, Muhammad had these revelations, which was brought down by, helped with Angel Gabriel, and he had these revelations which taught us about the struggle for goodness within ourselves, jihad, and this is an inner personal struggle, how we have to be kind and not argue, look after widows and orphans, and there's so many good things that he taught, and Islam is the one true religion, and really we should all belong to that. So the alien wise man, the alien sage, let's give him a name, Socrates. So he thought about what the gentleman said, the Islamic scholar, and he went, you're correct, you're right. So a scholar of Judaism, he stood up and said, well, wait a minute. Let's hear our side of the story. He said, we go back beyond the Old Testament. He said, in fact, some Jewish scholars believed that the Torah was there before creation, in actual fact. So we go right back in history, in culture and traditions, and we feel we were chosen by God, and we've got the Ten Commandments, and so much of the Ten Commandments have influenced both Islam and Christianity. So we go back further than both those two, and just historically alone, we believe that we are the one true religion. Says Socrates, the alien sage, the alien wise man. He thought about it. He said, yes, you're correct. That's right. Hang on, the Christian scholar, an eminent cardinal, and his robes resplendent, he stood up. This is way. He says, Christianity. He said, we had a prophet, a Messiah, Jesus arrived, and he taught us to love our neighbour. If we were assaulted, turn the other cheek. And the essence of his message was love. And he even went so far as to be crucified to assist in the salvation of mankind, of all of mankind. And we, certainly based on that, we feel that we have the one true religion. Socrates, okay, same thing. Thought about it? He said, you're correct. That's right. So one of the people in the audience stood up and said, well, wait a minute. The three of them can't be correct. The three of them can't be right. And the alien went, thought about it? He said, you're correct. That's right. So, but what does the Gnostic think about all this? The correctness and the rightness. To the Gnostic, it doesn't matter. The Gnostics are annoying. They're irritating. Even when you had the Christian Gnostics, a lot of them were elitist because, for some reason, a lot of the Gnostics were educated, and they thought the Christians, and not just the Christians, but a lot of the other beliefs, that they were just a common herd, and they never really bothered about them, which is a pity because eventually they got so big and they wiped out the Gnostics. So, but the Gnostics, it's even difficult to define a Gnostic because various people have done this. But certainly there's a couple of things that are involved in a Gnostic. It's certainly a philosophy, and it's a syncretist. They've got their ideas are syncretic. In other words, they will take all ideas and they try to use any truths or anything that they feel is good about this religion or this philosophy or this science, whatever it is, they'll incorporate it and use it, and then modify it, and then even change and move along. So the Gnostic has no argument with anyone's knowledge, whether it's religious knowledge, mystical knowledge, magical knowledge, any knowledge, as long as that knowledge is moving us towards our own understanding of ourselves, self-enlightenment, etc. Knowledge, to the Gnostic, knowledge is the key, not faith, not blind faith. This is right and that is right. No, to the Gnostic, knowledge is the key, and we'll gain that knowledge, I'm talking about Cathar as well, from anywhere. So, there's no, so I probably, if in that situation the Gnostic was there, he probably would have said, not that Gnosticism is right and correct and the one true, not religion but philosophy. The Gnostic would have said to Socrates, to the alien, I'd like to know about what you believe, what you've managed to arrive at over these last million years or so. and if there's anything new there, and the Gnostic can use it, he'll pounce on it and take it and use it, because knowledge, the Gnostic is, in some ways, he's the wanderer. The I Ching talks about the wanderer, the seeker. Not a lot of friends, some good friends, but it's the Gnostic realizes, this is my soul, this is the divine spark. I'm here in this lifetime. I'm using this body, and I thank you very much, and I look after it until it's gone, and then world of spirit, and we're going to move on to another one, because we're forever on that journey of seeking knowledge, because we know knowledge is the key, and in knowing, and because once you know, there's no longer any need to believe. You know. The other thing is that when you know and you feel good about yourself, because the whole point of enlightenment is to bring you inner peace, inner joy. Like that Indian said, there's no mukti without bhakti. There's no joy, there's no enlightenment without joy. So enlightenment means taking the stones from you that you're carrying around, and taking away the shackles, unleashing your mind, opening your mind, opening it to the possibilities that the universe is out there, has got there for you. But when we're when we're down, and when we're depressed, and when we're negative, we tend to feel, we look at the world in a different way. May I use a story again? This woodsman had his favourite axe. It was a beautiful axe, but he couldn't find it. He lost it. It was gone, and he looked everywhere and couldn't find it. And then he looked over to his neighbour, and his neighbour had a son, and he looked at that kid, that son, and he said, "There, he looks like a thief. He walks like a thief. He's the thief. He's a thief." Not long after he actually said this and made up his mind about that kid next door, he suddenly found something had fallen on top of the axe, and he saw the handle sticking out. He picked it up, and there was his axe, and it was just some wood, had fallen over under some branches, and it camouflaged the axe, and he misplaced it. Now the funny thing was that when he looked over and saw his neighbour's son, it just looked like a normal boy. So how we are, how we feel, if we're up and we love ourselves and we enjoy being ourselves, we enjoy being in our own skin, we like everybody. We got no downs on anybody. But when we're in a negative situation for whatever, we're feeling this, we're down, we're this and that, we tend to drag the rest of the world down with us. So the thing about Gnosticism and versus religion, well, there's no answer. But but it's knowledge. And the thing is that religion, the very fact religion means that you follow that particular belief system and so forth. And this is what you have to adhere to this. And if you don't, you're a heretic. So you're caught up in this particular system, and those beliefs tend to be cemented. Doesn't matter what religion it is. So, but the moment we come to Gnosticism, and there were Gnostic Christians, and there were Islamic Gnostics, the Sufis, and there was Judaic Gnostics as well. But basically, as long as it's religion, you're stuck within the beliefs and the dogmas of that religion. The Gnostic is free. His mind, his imagination, her mind, her imagination, our mind, our imagination, where they're free to roam, free to take any information, any knowledge from that source, from a religion, from Socrates, from the aliens. It doesn't matter, as long as that information, that knowledge is something that we can use on our individual journey and it makes us feel better about ourselves, gives us that, it brings us closer to the divine, it helps with our own personal connection with the divine, so be it. So really, it's, I suppose, no contest. There's no contest, because the Gnostics are not contesting anything with the religion. We're on our own journey, but we accept people who have a particular religion as their journey. That's fine, and that's fine for them, and so be it. Bye for now. Talk to you soon.